Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kerbin Space Program. The episode we have been waiting for a bit, the test flight of the new refueling tanker. To my surprise, I found out I can actually roll it out on the not fully upgraded launch pad, the 140-ton launch pad, because the tanker, including its launcher, is only 115 tons. So yay for that, shorter rollout times and shorter refurbishing times. Oh yes, some contract I completed. Excellent. 3 minutes to go. Let's see whether there is any new contracts which we may need. Person unlikely. 4 tourists. No, I will not fly 4 tourists. Science, base around Kerbin. Yes. Base around Minmus. Yes. Base around Mun. Yes, all of them. Excellent. Let's see, any testing contracts which we need? No. This one, maybe. That's nice thrusters actually, but yeah, let's see. Okay. This one, no. Well, we can check contracts later. Let's not delay this any further. Excuse me. And the one thing we need to check is the coverage of our relay satellites, because we still don't have a fully developed this. Do we need to bring a satellite into this orbit? This I will quickly check, but because it's so close to our target, oh no, it's relocating Kerbin tank. I will not do that. Okay, now, anyway, launch pad, and there is a satellite which will come into line of sight very soon. Position, excellent. So the satellite will easily cover our entire launch, which is perfect. It's still pretty warm here, and there is some promise that it might get a little colder in a few days, but who knows. Launch this, and let's see whether it makes it anywhere close to where we need to go. Okay, stable on the pad, no unreasonably wobbling. Now unfortunately our target vehicle is pretty much on the opposite sides of Kerbin, but I would really like to launch with the satellite overhead, so although we could land with the Kerbin tank overhead. Oh, we will launch now and then just go for a long... Wait, that's wobbly. Just go for a long rendezvous. And... oh. This is something I absolutely don't like. What? Engage. And whoa. Ha! Okay. That was too wobbly. Revert flying to launch. We will revert this because all of this wobbling is KSP physics and not a real problem with the rocket. And at least it was a little bit stable in flight. It didn't die completely immediately, but engage and go. It's actually killing the launch clamps, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, all of the launch clamps died. And it may be that I had too many launch clamps, which caused this issue. I had, I believe, launch clamps for, let's see, exploded, 4 launch clamps, so 1 for each solid rocket booster. Probably didn't like that. So the position of the launch clamps need to be fixed, but that's something that would have been immediately obvious on rollout of the vehicle and is not a problem with the vehicle itself. Now these need to go at least until stage 2 as always, probably, yes. Let's see how this develops. Looks like a pretty much standard launch, a little high right now on the profile, but that's okay. Thrust to weight after the core. Center core shutdown is still okay. Quite nice actually. Control authority, well, yeah, should be okay. It's not too great, but it's also not terrible. After the solid rocket boosters decouple, as in now, whoa, haven't seen that engine in a while, our wall authority comes only from the reaction control wheel up here, which isn't great. I could enable the RCS if I wanted to. But that actually doesn't look too bad. Attitude profile is okay. I think we can close this now. And let's see how this gets to orbit. Our fairing is still a little bit away. I hope this is the fairing. Yes, it is. Okay. Will be interesting to see how this decouples. Maybe it's better to keep it until we are just until engine shutdown, so that we don't ram into it. Otherwise, these might get stuck on the tanks here, and that wouldn't be great. Also have plenty of RCS monopropellant, so just in case we need more authority. Okay, looking great on the orbital insertion burn. And just about to burn out on this stage. We can decouple the fairings now. We'll need about 300 meters per second for circularization, so could do with a little more fuel on this stage. Let's see. Solid rocket booster stage recovered for 95.6%, 18,000 and something. That's a decent amount of cash back from the launch. Although we did lose the launch clamps. That's just a little unfortunate because they're also not quite cheap. But I have to work on those definitely. And yeah, as I said, about 300 meters for circularization. And since we're playing catch up, we'll change the node a little bit so that we don't quite circularize, but keep our periapsis a lot lower. So that we catch up more quickly. Like this. Good. Will we still have contact. We have direct connection and a relay satellite overhead, so no problem with the burn here. Relative inclination with the target is 0.11 degrees, but that's also okay. We want a home and transfer sometime later. Bean separation, except for the decoupler dying, but that's expected. I'm quite happy about that, and we are now losing a lot of fuel from this refueler, but yeah, what's a couple thousand liters? And we are in orbit. Let's see, that's in about a day. That's fine. Okay. So, anchor is in orbit. Maybe I should change the textures. That's also something. Yeah, I should change the textures. Okay, so two things to change, the textures and the launch clamps. That looks okay. We will see how it does during docking. Yeah, it will be interesting to see the docking. Now let's see. The whole day waiting for the phasing is a lot of time. There's one re-entry and a return burn for these station tourists. That shouldn't be too hard. Oh, reconditioning is also taking over 5 hours. That's long. Okay. And I ordered a couple more Moon Tourist Bay vessels because we've been using them up, and I keep one at launch pad at all times to have a ready vessel should I need one. Oh, these tourists. Okay, I can leave them be for another day so that we only do this one before we do the docking. So maybe you can watch the docking together with me. So I will ignore this timer for the moment, not deal with it. Or, well, let's see, how far away from the leading edge are they? Minmus Station. Minmus Station here. Okay. That's, yeah, let's get Mun Station to periapsis, then it's quite easy, only like now, to return them. It's a quick burn and nothing major. Shouldn't cause us any undue delays. The return of the moon tourists will be a couple of minutes because re-entry as always. But if you're as curious as me about how the docking of the tanker works out, then just stick with me for a moment. Okay, this is all set, done, this is okay. Control from here. Undock. Check the tourists. Yes, they can be recovered now, okay. And I will need to get this clear of the station. Now a return plan, create in 70 minutes? Why? Perhaps it's awful. Can I do this burn earlier, please? Ah, 6 minutes, yeah, that would be appreciated, and now a little bit more. Get the periapsis down, why? Oh, okay. Maybe not so early. Delta V, 500 meters, we can spend a little. Actually, I didn't want to play around here for so long. Okay, create the node again. Periapsis at 288. More thrust. Beep. Okay, like this, just a little bit less. 31, excellent. Is this all? Yeah, it's all. I wish this had been a little better timed a little better, but oh well. Why? Oh, I forgot to activate the engine. Oh me. And this encounter with the moon is after we been at periapsis. Yes, it is. It's not before, so that's perfectly okay. Periapsis there. Okay, re-entry there. Remove this node. Mun Station tourists. Re-entry. Excellent. Return to Space Center. I always deactivate the engines when I dock something to a station, just to be sure not to accidentally mess up. Because a station with multiple ships attached and their engines all active, you then accidentally hit the thrust controls, then bad things happen, really bad things. Now we have to re-enter those Mun Station Crew members. Okay. I did a crew rotation off camera in between, just docking the old crew and basically this crew packing up everything into the airship and returning it. Now, let's see, where are we? 400 meters left. Excellent, so I'll do Mike to focus on Kerbin, please. And now, something we've been doing now for a while, 31 and 1200, maybe about here. Create node, that node is 431, that's a little bit too much, so 1300. This we have. So delete number 1. Execute this one. I'm practicing the re-entry preparation burns, which we will be using for all the other. No, Major, what are you doing? Good. Could you please time warp? Yes, thank you. The re-entry preparation burns, which we will need for the solar training missions, and yeah, thank you. What's this? Oh yeah, that's the upper stage, the transfer stage, which I also decouple while still in orbit around the moon just after the escape burn. So it will be on a faster trajectory to Kerbin, lower periapsis, etc., etc., and automatically burn up without us having to deal with it when we are here. Useful. Oh, this burn would be now, well, that's not great. We have to do this re-entry now. And it will probably be late on this burn, but yeah. Keep pointing roughly this way. Oh, we don't have a pilot here. Oh, that's great. And we will have to... I don't trust MacJeb to hold us steady, so... just manually hold this. On retrograde. We still have 3 minutes until this burns, so maybe, let's see, what's the prediction? We will be down in 3 minutes something, so too slow. Arm parachutes, I said. Maybe I will let MacJeb hold this. Yeah, that's awful. Come on. Well, whatever. Then it will be a little wobbly. So definitely something to remember for the solar orbit training missions, and anything that's even worse in terms of re-entry speed, we definitely always need a pilot there. Kind of knew that, but for these Mun Station Crews or even the Minmus Station Crew, I want to avoid having a pilot there, because on the station they are not useful. And well, you see what happens during re-entry. Whereabouts are we? Okay. Let's forcibly brake and get down. Just go down. This was only, this was a transfer burn, so we may have to, fix that. But the transfer burn is easily fixed, just burn a little faster and then we can still meet up with the station. As long as we are not missing it by more than a minute, we should be fine. But in mind, big landing. Excellent timing on the parachutes there. Good engineer. Recover vessel. And we will only miss this burn by 20 seconds or so. It should be easily correctable. Oh, actually it's a long, well, it's a low thrust to weight ratio, but still. We will be able to fix that. Create and execute this one. We need to do a correction anyway, so it will be interesting to see whether we have connection there. Let me actually record and execute this maneuver via the computer place. Execute. Good decision there, good decision. Hopefully we will be able to do the same with the match velocities burn, if we somehow manage to get connection before we need it, so that we can actually schedule it. Which looks unlikely as of right now. Huh. I mean, honestly, we managed to launch it despite the launch clamp issues. We did the transfer burn a little late, but we just managed in time, and now the lack of connection to the KSC due to our usual problem of not having any satellites nearby, and we will not have maybe this one, but not sure whether it has a connection. will probably foil us from... Oh no, yeah, execute. We do have a brief connection and we will probably keep that connection. We might even be able to dock. Interesting. Target in sight. Not yet. We should see it. There's the target, okay. Well then. First time I'm doing a match velocities at closest approach using the flight computer. Look, maybe I did it once before, I don't remember. Let's see whether we hit this tank and it all ends in a big explosion. But it's 61 meters, we should be safe. Yeah, definitely safe. Coming in nicely. Okay, that's the docking port we are aiming for, the back one there. All this. Okay, let's quickly switch to the tank and turn it into a normal negative place. And just hold this, please. Switch back, set as target. Actually disable the engine. Go a little bit this way. No. Yes. I'm intentionally not aligning to the target right now, because I want to align with the vessels first, without having a RCS thrust unbalanced relative to the center of mass, so that's why. This way, please. Okay, right about like this, probably. Okay, now this way, right? Should we try to align these like this? Yes, we do. Okay. Not that much. Jesus, what did I do? Okay. Should be very careful about overcorrecting here. Yeah, we have very little torque. The only torque we get is from this tiny reaction wheel and of course all of the RCS, of which we have plenty, so it's okay. It's just a little bit different from usual. And let's increase the closing rate a little bit. actually control from here later when we need the exact distance. Right now I'm still... well, it's not too different from... I was wondering, well, I'm controlling from here, so this doesn't really make a difference. If I had a probe core somewhere in the middle, it would make the RCS controls a little easier, but... hey, that's not too bad. Behavior for the docking is actually excellent. You can increase the closing rate. Just a little bit more down this way. And now I have to decide how much fuel I want to keep. Actually, let's just dock them and then I can find out in the VAB how much fuel we need for the return burn, so that's probably better than trying to guess. But I think I will save the return re-entry of the tanker for the next episode, because it's getting way too long already, and yeah, temperatures are killing me. Okay, let's stop all of this and let the magnets take care of it. Excellent. And since this one has some tiny RTGs, we are even recovering our electric charge. But let's see. Fuel tanks. So let's see. Definitely emptying this one and this one into the big one. Center of mass shifting like this is always interesting. Okay, so now these are all empty. This one still has some fuel, which I definitely want at this end later, but let's see, decisions, how much of this to keep. I will defer this decision until I'm back on the ground. So, with that, I would say we had a successful docking. Almost didn't make it because of connection problems, but at the end we succeeded, and that's all that matters. So, thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next episode when we try to land this tanker, because in theory it's supposed to be reusable. So, see you in the next one. Bye bye.